Hello, good morning, girls. Welcome back to yet another session of English grammar class. In the last class, we have seen the structure of past perfect continuous tense, and let's move on to see what are its uses. I hope you still remember the structure. The basic structure is subject plus had been plus verb plus ing. I have given you a detailed explanation how we can frame positive sentence, negative sentence, and questions. So now let's look how it can be used. And we can use past perfect continuous tense to talk about an activity that had been happening. For example, we could say it had been snowing all week. That is, it started in the past, continued in the past. And which part is the past perfect continuous in this sentence? That is, had been snowing. I have made it in italics and in bold, so you can see what is the past perfect continuous tense part in the sentence. And here it is. It had been snowing. All right. So we can use past perfect continuous like that. Now, another way we can use it to describe an activity in the past that had been happening before another activity happened. So, another activity happened and our past perfect continuous activity had been happening. Okay. It had been happening before another activity happened. So, we had been playing. Let's make it clear with some example. We had been playing cricket before it started to rain. We had been playing cricket. So this part had been playing is our past perfect continuous tense. So we had been playing, then it started to rain. Started is not in past perfect continuous, that is just simple past. But this part show us that this activity had been happening until this one happened. All right. So we can use it to describe an activity in the past that had been happening before another activity happened. Now we can also use this tense to talk about a past activity or action that had been happening, and we want to say the duration or how long it had been happening. For example, they had been working on that project for 6 months, or they had been working on that project since July. Okay, so had been working is the past perfect continuous part in that sentence. And how do we know the duration, how long? With this keyword for or since, which often used with this tense form. And for and since, these are very common words that you will see by using with these tenses. All right, I have already explained about it in the previous class. And we can use it to describe activities that had been happening in the past and they had some kind of pattern or routine. For example, we had been going to walk regularly. We had been going to walk regularly. So here past perfect continuous is had been going. Maybe people are telling you that because they want to tell you we had been going to walk regularly and before lockdown, now we had to find a new option. So that is one way to describe some sort of regular pattern that had been going in the past. Okay. Now we can also use it to describe an activity that had been happening plus the reason or cause for that. For example, we can connect it to a cause. We could say she was tired. Why? because she had been studying all night. So this had been studying. So this had been studying is the past perfect continuous tense. So we say we are connecting it to a cause. She was tired because she had been studying. She was exhausted because she was studying. She was sleepy because she was studying all night. So sometimes this tense is used to give us a cause, or sometimes it can be a result. All right. So what really important is not about understanding all these things, but you should also know that we cannot use this past perfect continuous tense regarding stative verbs. I hope you know what is this stative verb, because we have already talked what is stative verb, the difference between action verb and stative verb in the previous video. So I don't want to explain it again. So that's all about this past perfect continuous tense. I hope you could understand what I have explained. So now let us do some practice together using past perfect continuous tense. So we will make some positive sentence, some negative sentence, and some questions. Okay. So this exercise, I hope you have a notebook with you. So write the answer along with this video. Now, the first few sentences given, all you have to do for the first 5 sentences, all you have to do is to convert it into past perfect continuous tense. Okay. So start writing. I think of ordering pizza. So all you have to do is to apply the structure of this verb, past perfect continuous. He hoped to get promotion. They looked for the key. She missed her family. Joe prepare for his exams. So, if you cannot complete writing answers, pause the video for a while and write down the answers. Okay. Now, let's make the following, the question number 6, 7, 8 into a negative sentence. What you have to do is to change the sentence into negative. He exercise regularly. So you should remember the structure of negative sentence. He exercise regularly. We check our voicemail. I sleep well. I hope you had done that also. Now, the last 2 sentences, we are going to make them into question. Had he feel unwell? All you have to do is to frame a question. Had you text each other? So if you couldn't complete the writing answers by this time, pause the video for a while. Then only move on to the next slide and check your answers. The answers are given in number order, so you can check the answers. Okay. Now, I hope you had done your answers well. Your If you have done your answers right, I hope you may be feeling a lot more confident about using this tense correctly and easily. Now, as you have learned when and where to use past perfect continuous tense and where not to use it, try to write a positive sentence, negative sentence, a question sentence, just like this. They had been learning English. They hadn't been learning English. had they been learning English? And also, you should be able to add those questions like were, when necessary before these questions. For example, where had they been learning English? How long had they been learning English? So, when you can do that comfortably, more between the positive sentence, negative sentence, and question forms, then you have understood this tense correctly. So try to form sentences like this and you become proficient in this tense. So that's all about this past perfect continuous tense, and I hope you could understand what I have explained. So see you later. Until then, bye.